Summary of the Holden Bigfoot investigation site. The site where she was living is basically a giant trash heap of old cars, mowers, junk, and a trailer that looks like it was in a war zone in Nigeria. There is so much stuff stacked up everywhere you can barely see the woods behind it. However, the place is very eerie. There are fences to the north and behind the trailer clearly smashed down with game trails of raw dirt going back into the woods. It looks like the damage from four-wheelers, but there are no tire tracks. To me, it does look like something big and heavy has smashed the fences and is traveling through the trails. They are about 3 feet wide and have zero plant growth on the trails. The woods behind the house are very thick. It's a great place to hide. I met the neighbor to the west. She calls herself Chiquita Cha-Ki-Ta and seems to be part black, part Hispanic. She is a very odd person. When I first met her, she was very friendly, but her demeanor changes very quickly and starts acting out things, showing signs of histrionic disorders and contradicting herself. She told me that when she saw me driving by slowly, she thought that she should call 911 and get my tag number. I drive a fairly new truck and had my windows down to wave at people. She seemed paranoid, and schizophrenia affected to some degree. She told me that for about 7 months out of the year she sleeps on the front open porch. I thought that was odd, given the potential for mosquitoes from the Carol Johnson trash heap across the road, about 500 feet away. I asked her about any Bigfoot activity and she said, "Oh, you mean Yeti?" I asked her if she had seen anything and she laughed hysterically and said, "Oh my God. No. None ever." I don't find Chiquita credible whatsoever. She's bat-shit crazy and paranoid. She was mowing the lawn when I met her, which Carol had a lot to say about her mowing. I drove into town and went by Carol's house. She was outside watering her plants on the back porch. I pulled up and said hello Carol, and it really caught her off guard. I told her that I knew Tom from Creek Devil and she said okay, and asked me to park and come speak with her. The conversation with Carol was odd, but interesting. She is very coherent, aware, sensible and logical. Most people would think that because of her story that she is completely delusional and has totally lost it. I don't find that, but I do wonder if she is the only one seeing the creatures like she does. She goes back and forth a bit on her mother and whether she had seen them or not. At times she tells me about her mother seeing them, and then later says her mother questions the existence of them. To Carol's credit, her mother suffered from dementia in her later years, so that might explain it. One thing that is odd, but might be explained by the effects of PTSD, is that she is still seeing the creatures at her new home in Holden, MO, inside of town. It's right off the main road, Highway 58. Her address is 711 South Pine. It's in a residential section backing up to some commercial properties a few blocks away. She is convinced that the creatures are coming in through an area heavily wooded by a baseball field, and that they only come on nights when it's raining outside. She cannot explain how she knows this, she just does. There was a red flag that popped up when I asked her if the investigation team with Creek Devil had seen anything out at the property. She shrugged her shoulders and motioned like she didn't know. I told her that Tom from Creek Devil told me that the team had seen something on the property. And she looked utterly shocked, her eyes popping out of her head. This was a major red flag because she should have been blank-faced as if of course they did, nodding her head. Maybe I am reading her wrong, but I don't think so. That was the one thing that stood out to me, that maybe she knew that she's been making this all up. Like I said before, maybe she's the only one seeing them. Maybe not. Her emotions seem very real, that is for certain. Carol's story is very consistent. Her dates of times and events are very accurate. When I told Carol I met Chiquita, she just kind of sighed and mumbled, "Oh yeah." Carol said that Chiquita mows the yard incessantly. She will be out mowing all day and into the night. She said sometimes she's still mowing at 11 p.m. at night, in the dark. I believe this, and confirms my theories on Chiquita's mania, paranoia, whatever. Carol said that it was her that was attacked by the BF and tried to eat her intestines. According to the official Carol story on Creek Devil, episode 221. Carol looked confused when I told her that Chiquita says that nothing is going on out there. Carol went on to becoming very unstable and emotionally distraught, and described seeing a dogman-type creature out there. Large, black and with a snout, teeth. Also, that her and her mother have seen on 2 different occasions a red orbs, about the size of a basketball, floating down the highway. It followed her car north on 1101 road for a while. Another odd one was when the riding mower ran out of gas, they left it overnight in the field south of the trailer. In the morning she said it was flipped over and pushed near the pond. In conclusion, I'm left with more questions than answers. This feels like the time when I mixed real butter with I can't believe it's not butter. And I was left confused, wondering what to believe. I don't know. Is something going on out there? Yes. I think so. Is Carol nuts? I don't think so. Is she and her mother the only ones seeing anything? Maybe. There is a neighbor to the south whose father claims to have seen them, and they have calves and pigs go missing. I spoke with them on the phone a few days ago. Can they all be crazy? Probably not. I have an interview coming up with another guy that lives about 2 miles from the Carol site. He claims to have seen one run across the road in the area. Follow up. The other day I got a threatening phone call warning me about staying away from there, and I better watch out. This was from some hillbilly idiot from Texarkana area. I told him what to go do, and it wasn't pleasant. Post from user blind LDT blind at Reddit. Comments. This is what I hate about Bigfoot stories these days. Every time there's a good story going, it takes a turn off into werewolf and alien territory. Comment from user Reddit Bugler at Reddit.